Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the session. So, in this session, we will be understanding about if else. So, how it works is by basically based on condition. So, here is the syntax. So, we use basically two keyword. One is if, and another one is a else. And then in each keyword, under each keyword, we write set of codes. So how it works is you will write after if keyword some condition. If that if this particular condition is true, then this set of codes will be executed. Whatever number of lines it is written here, it will be get executed. And if suppose the result is false, then in that case what happened? This set of codes will not be executed, and your control will be moved in this particular else block, and whatever number of lines of codes you will be writing here, that will get executed. So this is a very fairly simple concept. So if block which is here will execute only if condition is true, and if condition is not true, in that case your else block will be executing. So by this concept, let's start with the simple code and understand how it works. So what I want to write here, I have written a if keyword, then I have given a condition 10 is greater than 11, and then I have written a set of code that is print right, else print wrong. So in our case, if you see, code will execute right from if. So if 10 is greater than 11, 10 is greater than 11. So if you see 10 is greater than 11, no, 10 is not greater than 11. If you want to see, you can write here 10 is greater than 11. You will see false. So basically it's a conditional statement. When you run conditional statement, then you will get either true or false. So still my it's see, if you can see, this is initializing, that's why it's still executing. Now it's connected and result is executed. So what I'm getting here is false. So if 10 is greater than 11 is true, then only print right will be executed. Now as we can see, the result, if 10 is greater than 11 is false, so pointer will move to control will move to else block and execute print wrong, that is it will print wrong. So yes, till here I think it's okay. Now what I want is, I want to accept user input in the form of integer and classify that input is even or odd. So basically we are performing some kind of conditions on that particular input, and then we will give output as either even or odd. So as we have learned in the previous sessions, that to accept user input, we will use input keyword. We have used input keyword, and as we know that input keyword will return a string. So but if we return a string, then we will not be able to perform operation, mathematical operation. So that's why we are converting here into integer. So we are taking a number, converting that number into integer. Now my this if else code will come into the picture. Now suppose I am, let's execute first and then understand. So let's give 10 as a input, and now 10 is even. So n is equal to 10. Now 10 modulo 2 is equal to 0. So is 10, when we divide 10 by 2, is there any remainder? No, nothing is remainder. 0 will be, you will be getting 0. So that means it is true, right? So if it is true, then this set of code will be executed. So we have in previous sessions we have learned that this is one kind of printing something. Just write here curly braces, and then write is whatever you want to write right here, and then dot format, and whatever order you want to print or number you want to print, that you can mention. So my input is n is equal to 10, so it is here 10, is even will get printed. Else will not be executed because result the input which you am giving is, you know, is true, means it is divisible by 2, hence only if will execute it, else will not execute. Let's try one more time. This time let's give any odd number. A bit taking time. Yeah, so let's give 3. So I've given 3. This time what happened? 3 is divided by 2. 3 modulus 2. What is remainder we are getting? We are getting 1. So 1 is equal to 0. No, 1 is not equal to 0. Hence, if will not be executed, else will execute. So print the number is odd. 3 is odd. Now let's write few more conditions. This is called basically a nested if else, you can say. If inside if means there is a if else, and then inside that also you are writing conditions. So if you what is our use case here is accept number from user and return results as even or odd, and also print if number is greater than 5 or less than 5. So by seeing this code, what you can understand here is this is our first bigger loop, bigger condition which you have written conditional statement if, and then corresponding this if else is here. Even you can understand this from indentation also. If you can see there is a no space between if and else, so that means the corresponding else of this if is this particular thing. So now let's move inside if, the outer one. Inside if we have written one more if else. If you see the indentation of this if and this else is same, that means this else is the form of this else. And inside else also we have written a if, and corresponding that if we have written else statement. So how this work is, when we user will provide any input, let's say 6, okay. If 6 is divided by 2, yes, it is true. So print that number. Okay, print this. If 6 is true. If this is true, print this and then move to other line, right? What we said, if something is true, then all the codes inside the if will be executed. So first line is executed. Now control will move to this particular. 6 is greater than 5. Yes, this is true. So now this set of code will be executed, and this beside the below this nothing will be executed, because here only something is true, so it will get executed. If it is not true, then else and else part will come into the picture. So let's say we are taking an input now as a 3. So 3 is divided by 2. No, it's not divided. So control will leave this particular f and now move to this else. Now it will print 3 is odd. Is 3, now again it will check 3 is greater than 5. No, 3 is not greater than 5. So that means this if will not be executed, this else will be executed. Print is not greater than 5. So let's run it and take the input as 3. So as you can see here, 3 is odd, this code. Then this 3 is not greater, number is not greater than 5. So this is how if nested if else works. We can also write if else inside the for loop. So for we understood that if we are using this particular range function 1 to 21, that means 1 to 20 numbers will get generated, and each one by one it will assign to I. So when we run this, I will get first 1. 1 will be assigned to I. 1 is divided by 2. No, it's not divided. So it will print 1 is odd. Now second will take, second is divided by 2. Yes, second is divided by 2. Then true condition will be executed. So 2 is even. So you can see here, if you run, 1 is odd, 2 is even. Like that, 1 to 20 will get executed. Now write a function. Inside the function also we can write if and else. So as we have learned, a function can be defined by using def keyword, then give the name, then number of parameters which you want to pass, and then with that parameter I will check whether something is true or false. So let's run this. Function is executed. Now let's call this function odd even. This time I will pass 10. So here what 10 will, it will call this particular thing. So 10 will be 10 divided by 2, yes, true, so return even, so it is returning even. Now let's write again same thing with a different format. This time I'm returning it this way. So this is also, if we are calling 11, 11 is odd is getting printed. Now let's print this. Let's understand what is none type and what is not none type. I mean, what is the use of return in these kind of functions. So we have written a set of code inside that, and let's call this odd even 3. Basically this particular function I'm calling, and here if you see under if and else, I have not written any return, we are just printing it. So when we are odd even 17 we are calling, 17 is great, it is this particular function is getting called by with the parameter 17, and then we are saving that inside the n. So if you see 17 is odd, that's fine. Now let's see print on. I think here's not printing. We are not use print statement. So now let's see what n is printing. It's basically none type will be printed. Nothing is there because it's just print. When we are saving it, it should return something, right? It is not returning anything. It is just printing. So we have used here odd even 2, wherein we are returning something, right? Instead of printing, when we call that function, it will return something. So let's execute this. We have executed odd even 2, and let's do the same operation with odd even 2 by calling odd even 2 function and passing the parameter with 11. And now let's print t. So we can see t is printing. Why it is printing? Because t is this particular odd even 2 function is returning something. That's why we are able to save something and able to display. While in odd even 3, nothing is getting returned to function. It is just you're calling something, and whatever set of code is written there, that is getting printed. That is getting printed. So this is how if else block conditional statements work. So I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you.